Hi there folks, my name's Novoin24 and welcome to another quick little Microsoft Flight Simulator tips and tricks video. So with the most recent release of Sim Update 10 to the Sim, not only has it brought a huge number of amazing performance and general sim improvements to our virtual aviation experience, it has also brought in a fix or maybe some changes that you can implement in one of the features that's it's one of the most, it was very early on, it was one of the most discussed and I'm going to call it controversial features of the sim. And I'm talking, of course, about the phasing of aircraft in multiplayer. Now, if you're not sure what I'm referring to, so when you and another virtual aviator are in close proximity, what you would notice with the sim is that as they got closer to you, and once they got to a certain point, they would actually start to phase out of existence, and you would until you see them, and then they become a ghostly apparition, and then they would disappear completely. And then once they left like an area around your aircraft, then they would gradually reappear again. So that feature was in some ways it was actually part of Asobo's efforts to allay any fears that some simmers had, where that but if they were to come across another player in multiplayer, then or if somebody was a bit too close, then they would end their flight tragically with causing a virtual crash. So this was their sort of way to be able to allow us all to share the skies and not have to worry about any kind of crashing, of any kind of experience, any kind of virtual crash. Unfortunately, however, it does have a side effect, which means that for those who wish to partake of and recreate the aerobatic excellence of formation flying, then it means that your experience is somewhat tarnished and somewhat reduced, because when you fly in those amazing super close and super tight formations, you are unable to see the aircraft that you're trying to actually spot off, and it sort of reduces some of the effect, unfortunately. So it's been a bit of a controversy within the community, a low-key controversy, but nevertheless a controversy within the community is ever since the launch of the sim some over 2 years ago. But with Sim Update 10, we now have a way around it, and a way to actually be able to restore and be able to give everybody that formation flying experience, if you so choose, but with some quirky little side effects. So what we've been watching here, we've been watching the traditional behavior of the sim, of when two aircraft get close to the sim, as you sort of start seeing the phasing in and out. Now, let's go and have a look at the new settings that have been added in as part of Sim Update 10. So let's go into our options menu here. Then we go under general options. And then we go under traffic. So under traffic here, as we scroll down, we'll see a new tab that's been added in, which is show multiplayer aircraft in close proximity. Now, by default, it will be set to off, and this is the traditional standard behavior that we've seen in the sim since launch, where once that aircraft gets close, and depending on the collision box and the model size of the aircraft that's approaching you, that is going to how far away or how close they'll be before they start phasing in and out is going to change. But this is the standard behavior where you will continue to see that behavior. Now, however, if you change this to on and save that, now we have the ability to be able to, where the phasing is now turned off completely. So now we can actually go and fly in a close formation together and not have any of that phasing happening. So let's go and have a look at that. All right, so here we are back in the sim now. As we see, we're coming in close now. And as you see now, that there's none of that phasing is actually happening anymore. So now you can actually get as close as you want to your fellow aviator while flying and recreating those prestigious feats of aeronautical capabilities, of aerobatic prowess through formation flying now, without having your fellow aviator turn into a ghost, which is of course, the great part of this. And I know this has been something that all the display teams have been chasing for quite some time. So great to see this is an option for them now. Now, the other, now I did sort of mention before, and overall, this is great, and this is fantastic, and probably because of the group flights I'm flying here, particularly thanks to my special fellow aviator here, Razo, who is leader of the Microsoft Flight Simulator Blue Angels. That I'll be flying with it on, but it does have a little bit of a quirk though. So if hypothetically somebody does fly through your airframe, you literally see their model pass through you. So probably not a huge thing, but it is just somewhat disconcerting. But whether it's more or less disconcerting than having the aircraft phase out of existence and then rephase into existence on the other side of you, I'll let you decide for that one. However, fundamentally, folks, I do want to stress though that none of this changes from the fact that you will still not get a crash in air while flying. So that part's still not an issue. You won't have a collision. A collision will not be detected. So don't worry if somebody does come up and formation fly with you, give them a wave, say hello to them, and don't worry, they're not there to try and shoot you down. It's perfectly fine. Now, just as we wrap this video up, I do just want to give a quick little note for VR users. So for VR users, when you make this setting, when you change this setting on your PC, or obviously if you're on Xbox, you'll have Xbox written here. But if you're using a VR headset, you actually need to change this slider up here to VR, and you need to repeat this setting in VR as well. So just a little bit of a small bit of gotcha here for this one, that if you are a VR user, you do have to set it up in 2 places. So just so you're aware of that. Well, folks, that rounds out this quick little tips and tricks video for one of the little known, I think, a little covered little updates as part of the Sim Update 10. So hope you found this video useful. And if you did, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you did find this video useful and you would like to connect and see more in the future. Otherwise, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, be amazing humans, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.